All right, so for Party in the USA Day 2, you're going to be doing something very similar to what you did for Party in the USA Day 1. For Day 1, you got some graph paper and you drew out your 10 displacements, basically following it like a treasure map or a treasure hunt, following the directions and the coordinates. You're going to be doing the same thing, but you're going to be doing it in the real world with actually taking steps. That's the general idea. So for this, as you see I have here, I have a person, I have a person in a yard, outside his house. Fairly straightforward. Over on the left-hand side, I have the 5 displacements that I'm going to be walking. You're going to be using the same 10 displacements as you did for Party in the USA Day 1. I'm only using 5 because 5 is enough to show you an example so you can figure out what you're doing. So your steps are relatively straightforward. You find an area where you have plenty of space to move around. Whether you have a yard or a parking lot or even in your living room if you choose a small scale. So you have to do a couple of things. You need to go outside or find somewhere where you have enough room, and you need to choose a compass. And the compass is super important. You need to be consistent. You need your north, east, south, and west to always be the same. So in that case, this wall is my north wall, this is my east wall, this is my south, and this is my west. So this first displacement, 5 miles east, I would have to walk east. The second one would be south, so I would have to go south. The third one would be west, so I would have to go west. Fourth one is south, so I would have to go south. And then west one more time. So that's roughly what I'm doing, but I am going to walk you through it a little bit more detailed. So the second thing you need to have is you need to have a scale. And that's what I have down on the bottom. My scale, I'm going to choose one step as 1 mile. The bigger your scale, the more accurate you will be in the end. So you could choose 1 inch equals 1 mile, but if you're off by a little bit, it's going to make a huge impact on your error. If you choose 5 steps equals 1 mile, yeah, you're going to be walking longer, but if you're off by a little bit, it'll have very, very small impact on how accurate your final answer will be. So the goal is to choose the biggest scale that you can reasonably do. So now let's actually go through these. Let's do our 5 displacements. When you guys go outside and do it, you'll do them in a random order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For my first random order, I'm actually going to do them bang, 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 bang. You could do 3, 2, 1, 4, 5. You could do 5, 3, 1, 2, 4. You could do them in any random order. In fact, by the end of this, you will do it in 3 different random orders. For my first one, I'm just going to go and do them straight down the line because that's one of the possible different orders we could do. And I think it'll be much easier to explain if I do them in order. Actually, you know what? I am going to mix it up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do number 3, 8 miles west. So when you go outside, you mark down, or you place a starting point. It can be as simple as dropping a shoe. It can be simple as knowing starting at a tree in your yard. Anything, as long as you have a starting point. So step 1 is mark your starting point. So I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to walk one of my displacements, 8 miles west. And because I chose 1 step as 1 mile, I'm going to take 8 steps to the west. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And try to be consistent with your steps as you go. So now I've done number 3. I'm going to cross it off so I don't do it twice. So now I'm going to choose any of the other 4 random ones. I'm going to choose 3 miles south. 1, 2, 3. Cross that off. And now I'm going to choose 5 miles east. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 2 miles south. 1, 2. And then my last one, 1 mile west. 1 mile west. And now you mark your ending point. So now, just like before, you have a definitive starting point and a definitive ending point. Now, to find the displacement, before you had to use the Pythagorean theorem, you had to find A, you had to find B, and you had to calculate it. But because you're actually outside walking, you can literally measure it by walking. We know 1 step is 1 mile. So now you place a marker at your ending point. right here. So we have a starting point and an ending point. Now you're going to return to your starting point and you're going to count the steps to your ending point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my displacement is 8 miles. And which direction did I go? North, east, southwest. Well, I went southwest. So my displacement is 8 miles southwest. You are going to do this 3 times in 3 different random orders. So I'm going to redo that 2 more times in 2 other random orders. So let's say when I do that, I get 8 miles southwest, 7 miles southwest, and I don't know, maybe 10 miles southwest. That's trial 1, 2, and 3. Once you have all 3 trials done, you're going to calculate the average. And to calculate the average, we're just going to do trial 1 plus 2 plus 3, and because we had 3 trials, we're going to divide it by 3. So 8 plus 7 plus 10 divided by 3, and that's going to be 25 divided by 3, which is 8.33 miles. And we now have an average displacement. I hope that helps with knowing what you need to do for this, and let me know if you have any questions. But to wrap it up one last time, you find 3 different displacements by walking from start to finish after following your steps in different random orders, and then you average them. Thanks a lot.